Hey guys, how's it going? We're outside, which is different and new and exciting. It is Friday, June 9th, about 4:30 p.m. give or take. And I am outside awaiting my better half's arrival. Then we're gonna pack up the car and we're heading up north. Hey guys.
Hi.
Let's see, we're gonna try
You
to.
could probably put it, well, it might only get, well, let's put it sideways. You might have to just hold it. It's probably going to fall.
Yeah, probably. We've done that, tried to do that before. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey guys.
Hi.
There she is. She arrived.
It's on the road.
She was on the road. So she got here and loaded up the car, and we're on our way. A little over 2 hours.
Yep.
Didn't say where we were going. I just said we were going up north. We are going to Duluth, one of our favorite cities in the state. And again, it doesn't take much to convince us to go to Duluth.
You're recording, right?
Okay, yes. Yep. 48
check.
seconds. See, you're on my. Yeah. So the show that we're going to see, because of course it's a show. We can't just go on a vacation to Duluth without some sort of.
Well, like you said, it takes very little, and then in this case, it was a show. So.
And the lineup of the show. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, I pretty much don't care what we have to do. We're going to that.
Yeah.
So starting out, it's Pursuit, who I think are local Minneapolis boys, Minneapolis or St. Paul boys.
I was going to ask you about that.
Who I believe I've seen before, but again, I'm not 100%. And then newcomers Visceral Reaction, who I've only heard good things about. They're kids. They're like 17, 18, 19-year-olds as far as I can tell, maybe younger than that. But they're doing like the old school deathy thrashy thing, which I'm always a fan of. Now that Hex Vortices is no longer RIP Hex Vortices, even though all the members have gone off and done awesome things. And we'll get to that later. So it's those guys, who I've not seen yet. So I'm excited to see those guys. And then it's two of our newer favorites who we discovered in the past 8 months.
Yeah.
Because I think the first time it was
October.
October is when we first saw them at the Buffalo show. So it's our buddies Yotuma, Y-O-T-U-M-A, Yotuma, who are from Madison, who are awesome and really, really cool and really, really nice. And a band who I'm not sure where they're from. I think they're from Wisconsin as well.
So?
But they do a lot of shows with Yotuma, who is Defiled Sacrament, and they have merch this time.
I'm so freaking excited.
They at least have T-shirts. At the very least, we can get a T-shirt from them.
Yes, and I have money.
And you have money, and I have money, and I just got paid today too. I did
too, actually.
But yeah, so they'll be there, and then headlining if that's not good enough. Headliners are who used to be the young cats, the young thrashy cats on the scene a couple of years ago. Now they're, I don't know if they're quite like senior status, but I mean they've certainly made a name for themselves, and that's the boys in Agony Reigns, who again are awesome. And you've never, I mean, outside of Yotuma and Defiled, I don't think you've seen anybody else.
I don't think so.
I don't think you've seen Agony. No.
Yeah.
Because they were at Death Fest last year, but you unfortunately,
I tried to get people to take me there. I don't care if I was loaded up full of painkillers.
You would have had, if you would have came, you would have had a shitload of a good time.
Yeah.
Next day maybe not have been so good, but
just take another painkiller.
Just
Do
painkillers
as
for
I
the
say, not as I do.
for the next week. You'll be fine.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and that's going down at the Caddy Shack. So this will be our second show at the Caddy Shack. First one was last year, and that was unfortunately Trida's last show. But it was, who else is on that bill?
There was that one guy from that one band that you know. There's an Adam guy that is a drummer, I think.
Yeah, for Prairie Fire. Prairie Fire.
Prairie Fire, and then there was someone
Snow
else
the
who
Wire.
kind of knew too.
They just did a tour. Bud was traveling with them. Was that show? It must have been that show. I forget the name now.
A few good Airship Caravan, was it?
Airship Caravan. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn! I
that's all.
remembered.
Good job.
Woo! That's big for me.
That is
Really
that
big
is
for
very
me.
good.
I can't remember yesterday sometimes.
But you can remember Airship. Well, I mean they
make a
they have a presence. They put on a hell of a show. If you have not dabbled in them, definitely do so. I mean, they're just a good time. And I said that I know we say that about 90% of the bands we see, but it's true.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah. So that's what we were doing. We have a hotel for the night. I don't know what the rest of the weekend brings.
Well, my one of my new gals at work, one of our travel techs, Mel, she says that she gave me directions to kind of get to Wisconsin Point Lighthouse. It has a nice sandy beach by it. And so she said that it's beautiful and one of her favorite places to go. And it's just outside of Duluth, it sounds like. So
okay.
We might have to check that out.
We can check that out for
And there's
sure.
always places we can always hike here or there, or check out our, because we won't get to it tonight, but the bent paddle and.
Well, yeah, bent paddle.
Spoiler alert. And
bent paddle. If you watched our very long review of that one weekend with the Mental Health for Mental Health show, you know that we won a refillable growler from bent paddle.
Yep.
So we will have to go there at some point and check that out. Maybe do a sampling.
Yeah.
And see if there's something there that we want a growler of. I'm sure we'll find something.
I'll find something. If nothing else.
And we have to go to Castle Danger.
Yes. Castle Danger for sure.
Among other things, A, it's awesome. B, with the Craft Taps membership thingy that we also won on that silent auction. They have a BOGO, and we know that they have the orange cream ale is in season, so we gotta check that out. And now, since it's been a year, and I have a further appreciation of the darker beers, maybe I'll find something else there that I like. I mean, I hate to say this, but I almost wish it was Castle Ranger that we had the growler for, and not Bent Paddle.
Just because you're familiar.
Just because I'm not familiar with Bent Paddle. I know a lot of people like them. I know. I mean, I would assume that they do quality work, as because they've been around for.
I've had some of their stuff. Like 3 different things.
Yeah, I know they do have a stout that they're kind of known for.
Yeah, but you're not a huge stout boy, though. So.
Not plain stout. If it's like
chocolate,
like a chocolate or a peanut butter, or like the peanut butter stout at Lupulin. That's good stuff. So here's the room. Hey. It's a nice room. I gotta admit,
Yeah.
Not bad. Got a little coffee station, microwave, fridge, the whole deal. Bathroom, all that. So I know I said I was going to do one before the show, but my phone died and all that stuff. So we're back from the show now. It seems later than it probably is. It's only like midnight or something.
20 after.
Yeah, it's 20 after 12. But the show was a rousing success in many levels. all the bands absolutely killed it, and we're going to do that in a second. And we got merch from almost everybody.
Yes.
The only band we did not get merch from was Agony Reigns, because they didn't have anything in our size, and they didn't have any CDs because they do very limited runs of stuff. And but other than that, we got merch from everybody else. We talked to a bunch of people. Kellerman showed up out of nowhere.
Yay!
And Aaron.
Limited.
You know who he is.
You know him.
Yeah. So let me find a spot. I think if we pull this up.
Here, you get a fancy chair. You can probably even put it up if you want.
And then let's see. We just need something to set that upon. Yeah, that'll work.
That work?
That'll work.
All right.
Yeah, that'll work. So we'll try to make this short and sweet because,
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
First up.
Over here.
That's backwards, but that's okay. Pursuit. A band that I know the name. I've heard the name forever. How did you cut off? That's okay.
Here. Well, how do we make it closer, bigger?
We don't need it bigger, obviously.
Put something. Oh. Okay. Sorry.
Insects.
Insects that ate me.
But they're from the cities. I think they're from the cities. And
put it in my phone. North Dakota. Pursuit was from North Dakota.
Oh, that's right. They were from Fargo, I think, another Fargo band. So, which means at some point we have to go to Fargo because apparently there's a plethora of awesome bands up there. But Bandcamp Friday, you all know what Bandcamp Friday is. First Friday of every month. If you buy anything on Bandcamp, 100% of the monies goes to the band, and Bandcamp waives their fees for just that day, just that 24 hours, first Friday of every month. So I think it was one Bandcamp Friday that I was just looking for, different kind of fast bands, and I found Pursuit, and I'm pretty sure I got the album. Which you can't see, but that's okay, and it's backwards, but that's fine. And we did get shirts as well. And I'm pretty sure I got a shirt. I got the shirt that you got. I'm pretty sure I got that album shirt when I ordered their CD for Bandcamp Friday. And I was telling one of the members that, and he was like, "Oh, that's cool," and he thanked me for the order and all that stuff. So yeah, which just goes to show. And we got stickers from them.
We did. Yes, that's a cool 3D sticker.
The cool shiny stickers.
Holographic.
Yes. Holographic.
There we go.
Yeah, and then just plain logo one. And those guys were cool. Fast and punchy, and what else did we say? I don't remember.
Excuse me. Well, I've got growly, angry in a good way. Hard, thrashy. The guitarist and the bassist both growly. They kind of did they would take turns, and sometimes they would sing together.
Yeah, because they're a trio.
But they were all great. All of them were great musicians to watch. So
yeah, I mean,
that's what I've got.
Again, it was just one of those nights where every band was just awesome.
I was just gonna whatever we already did, I'm gonna throw
Yeah.
it back there. So there. All right. Okay.
And just as on a drummer note, they were the only band, and again, you're seeing less and less of this at metal shows. They were the only band to have a double bass kit.
Oh,
Which
how did I miss
Which
that?
I always appreciate, because no one plays double bass kits anymore. Which is kind of weird. I mean,
they did
I
on
get
the
it.
R4A tour.
Well,
The last.
well, yeah, as they move
Well,
back through time.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so that was Pursuit. They were awesome. And it just goes without saying, all of the bands that we're going to talk about are worthy to check out, and you should.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So next up was a newer band that I've been hearing a lot about, and I've heard that they just been absolutely killing it. And they're from Minneapolis.
I think they were. Yes. I don't think I wrote that down.
And that is the Young Tykes of Visceral Reaction. And yeah, they were.
Are they the ones with the long sleeve? No.
No, that was Defiled. I don't think we got we didn't get a T-shirt from them because they didn't have anything their size.
Oh, that's right.
But we did get CDs. And these guys, I mean, because I'd heard, because they're young. I mean, they all look. If any of them are over 21, I'd be very surprised. So they're another young band like Agony Reigns was like 5 years ago. And I heard they were just like Agony Reigns. They're like this old school thrash band. So I wasn't expecting that, but they're like an old school death metal band.
Yeah.
Vocals especially.
Yeah.
Very like consistent low growls. That was kind of awesome actually.
Yeah. What did I put for them? I put second. Well, first of all, my reaction because that's me finding another band that I like. Second song. Oh, the second song I thought was like you got the video for that one, so you'll see. But it's pretty badass. It's started out kind of slightly doomy in a way, kind of that slow thing, and then I decided that the band was a good fast, whatever that meant. And then those drums barely survived that guy. But I thought all the different pieces of the band meshed really well. But you could they're still very separate at the same time, which, okay, what did I mean by that? Had one Castle Danger cream ale, okay, so not drunk girl here.
Not at all.
Just not literate, or not very talking. But oh, and then he did the drummer did the standing up and drumming thing like Lars, so which was funny, because at the end they're like, and they introduced all the band, and then they were like, and our drummer
and Lars Ulrich on drums.
Yeah, which
everyone was confused for a second. It was like,
if you didn't get it, because were you not paying attention when he was doing the standing up drumming thing? But and then you noticed that I noticed pretty much what he was wearing
when he was standing up, because I noticed his shirt looked kind of weird, and I'm like, okay, but I noticed when he stood up, it was a Cannibal Corpse apron, which I didn't even know they made, but that makes sense. And then so he was wearing that and like a pair of like camo shorts.
And then I got synchronized growl shrieking. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then the last song reminded me of kind of like early White Zombie, and then you said late '80s death metal.
Yeah, just totally old school. Like if you were to go to you know, a death metal show at the Entry in like 1987. I'm sure that's what it was like. Like these kids, they know what they're doing for sure.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah. And it's weird because they're like, they look so young. I know, well, they are young, but yet they don't sound young.
They don't sound young. Their stage presence is, I mean, they've got a very professional stage presence. All the bands tonight did, actually. Yeah. I mean, again, just another one of those nights of just fantastic.
Yes.
So next band up was I consider them our good buddies now.
Yeah. Better be
our good buddies, Yotuma.
Yes.
And we were talking to I think it was the guitar player who was helping us with our merch, and we were just chatting with him, and he noticed my Casket Robbery shirt, and we were talking about that and all the touring that they've been doing, and how we shouldn't go to California because the traffic sucks, or at least we shouldn't drive to California because the traffic sucks.
Take the Greyhound.
Have somebody else drive for you.
Yep.
And then they're doing like an East Coast run, and this is the first day of the tour. And I think they're going, it's a good probably dozen dates or so.
Yeah.
Heading out east, I think is what they were saying. But yeah, so that's the fact that they are doing as well as they are very, very much pleasing me because they're awesome. They're really, really cool guys. And we both got one of these.
And how could you not?
How could you not? Just because, like, I think I have the purple version of this.
I
wanted the green one, and they didn't have the green one in my size online. So I'm happy they had it now, because now I have the green one and the purple one. And again, they're another band that I pretty much have all of their. I think I saw one other shirt that didn't have the one with the person beheading the like cheerleader or whatever it was. And I'm like, maybe not. But yeah, I mean, the only problem that they had, because they were the first band up that had a separate lead vocalist. That wasn't playing anything else. And he was using a wireless mic. Well, 2 wireless mics.
Yeah.
Actually, one was dying. Right. And yeah, he was just having issues. And I don't know if it was the mics themselves or like something with the signal or whatever. But for the last song, he grabbed one of the corded mics, and that worked just fine. So, so like pretty much half his vocals were kind of lost and kind of choppy. And but other than that, well, when they first started out, that first like chord that they hit was just like, a punch in the face.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh man.
In a good way.
I think I even put that on there.
Yeah, I mean, and after they were done, she was like, "Did they get heavier since the last
heavier,
time we saw them?"
Harder.
To which I said, maybe.
Oh, this is the one where, something. Just I got bit by a mosquito out there, and it's driving me nuts. It's like itchy. Okay, you can edit that out. So I said, this is, and I quote per Ryan, the most pleasant steamroller you've ever experienced. Yes, and I can agree with that.
Which again, I could say for a lot of the bands we see, who are just on that level of just like, it's just awesome.
But no, I think I don't, because, and then he's, as he put it, the other places we've seen these bands, Yotuma though, at least.
Yotuma and Defiled.
was Buffalo, at the amphitheater at Buffalo, where they were having Pronounce the Sound because it was so freaking cold out.
Mhm.
And then Club Underground, which is a different space. It's a different
environment. Yeah.
like acoustics, I guess you would even say, than this place.
It's a deader room.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. See,
Because the ceilings are a little bit lower, and it seems smaller. And now this is our second time to Caddyshack. Caddyshack, for those that remember, is almost kind of Lee's-like.
Which I've never been to.
Which she unfortunately never went to, which I'm sad about. I'm sad that they're closed because, oh my God, that was such an awesome place. And anybody who's been there, Lee's Liquor Lounge, just right outside of downtown, right there on Glendale, or Glenwood? Saw shows there. I mean, the place is perfect. But this has very much kind of that vibe to it. Very low stage, kind of open room. It's got the pillars, as we talked about.
Oh, yeah. So you can lean.
Yeah, so it is kind of Lee's-like. And I think the openness of the space somehow just made everything more intense and just more... Because we also said that about Defiled Sacrament as well, and we finally got merch from them.
Yes! I'm so happy.
So we each got a CD.
I could cry.
Because they put out a post earlier this week, a couple days ago, saying with the long sleeve shirt that I got, saying, you know, we got it, and I shared it with her and tagged her in it saying, but they also had, so that's just your logo, and then whatever's going on there.
That's mine.
That's a lot going on.
That's a lot going on. Which is awesome.
Because you got a priest, you got some sort of sacrifice, you got an altar.
There's titties on that one.
There's titties on that one.
Oh shit. I guess I better watch where I'm wearing that one. Oh jeez.
Well, as long as you don't wear this on the same day I wear my MMP shirt with the zombie titties on it.
Why not?
Well, because then they'd be double titties and then we both get
What's wrong with double titties?
Well, nothing wrong with double titties, then we're both getting in trouble. Depending on where we're wearing it.
Yeah, I suppose.
But I got...
So you can have all sorts of bad things in this world, but heaven forbid you have some titties.
I know. But this one on the back says make them fucking pay. So
yeah,
I don't know exactly
I did
who they're
that.
talking about. But
them. That's who they're talking about. Them.
Just
them.
The
them beaches. Them beaches, them. As Yenny says.
Oh yeah.
Them beaches. Yeah. Make them the man, like stick it to the man. Only it's the metal version of that.
Which is stick it to the man.
Well,
pretty much.
The death metal version of it.
I don't know.
Does that work?
I don't know if I'd classify them as.
Well, what would you classify them as?
Because to me, like death metal is not so much a musical thing. It's a vocal thing. Like if you have a certain type of vocal,
okay,
which they don't.
So what is their vocals?
Their vocals
you
are
have
almost
to school me,
almost more, not quite black metal, because black metal is like the high and screechy. But then again, sorry, I had to interrupt you. Yeah.
Which vocals of his? Because he has three vocals going on at the same time.
This is true.
I don't know. I'm sorry, but you might be possessed. Just want to let you know, and you're probably going to take that as a compliment. It kind of is, in a way. But holy, like, Did you notice 3 different voices coming out of him at the same time, kind of, at different points?
Yeah, I did notice a range of vocal styles.
Like,
yeah,
that's
for sure.
one of the things that made me go, whoa, in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I saw them, I'm still flabbergasted.
Even though it was about 45 degrees and starting to rain and windy and cold,
but we still stuck it.
Didn't matter because
yeah.
And to go back to Yotuma when we were talking to the guitar player, because we were talking about where to play and do the things, and he's like, yeah, there's no really places in the cities, and she's like, I got a place.
Yeah, I got a little place in Buffalo.
Because they said they'd be try to get back to Minnesota in October. And she was like, I got a place, Buffalo. And it took him a minute to go, oh, and you're the guys that stuck out to the end. Yay! So we had a nice little fun chat about that. But, and the fact that that was the only weekend in October. Every other weekend in October was like 75 and sunny and just gorgeous. That was the one that was like 45 and rainy and windy.
It was so bad. It was because the wind was like straight lining across the lake.
Yeah, and just shoom.
Yeah, which I've never seen it ever do there. That's the extremely rare for it to ever, especially in like your more. I mean, in the winter, yes, I've seen it do that, but like
mid-October.
No, so it was just like that was the day that it was determined to do it apparently, but
well, because we brought the metal to the lake.
Yeah, so I just had to like laugh like. I know a little place in Buffalo that you could play in October. And then he was like, huh? And I'm like, well, last year there was this one day and it was really cold. And then
he was like, oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
We don't want to do that. It's too cold. I mean, if it's going to be nice, yes. But, yeah, so, oh my goodness. So anyways, for Defiled, like, I'm tickled to see them again. Oh yeah, just holy S as always because and then they got a bass player.
Oh yeah, and then the other 2 times we saw them, they were a 4-piece and they just had 2 guitar players, which had at least I don't know if they were 7 strings or 8 strings, so they had the lower register, so it kind of acted like a bass. But now they actually have a real live bass player, and if I heard from stage correctly, this was his first show.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
I might have missed that. Okay.
And then the next song they did was a request of
I know they introduced him,
Dave.
so maybe
I think
they
his
were
name was Dave.
Officially introducing him. Okay,
yeah.
I see.
And then the song up they did after the introduction was a request of Dave.
Yes.
Yeah. So I believe this is his first show. So now they have a full 5-piece lineup, which does help. Because you need that low end.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I've gotten to really. I mean, I like bass. So that's,
you've always liked bass.
It's all about bass.
Yeah.
No. Oh gosh. Don't stab me. Don't stab me.
It's okay. I like that song. It's fine.
And then I noticed. I noticed that just badass. The drummer has black drumsticks. And then he's like, oh yeah, he already broke one. And I'm like, oh, I missed it. How did I miss that? So, but that was really cool.
I think it was on a snare hit that it just kind of went.
And then and then I also noticed that this guy's drumsticks would, when he would hit his cymbals, they would go.
As if in
they
slow
would
motion.
Wobbling back and forth, and I was just like, and I guess I know that happens, and I know it happens. And if you slow speed down, but no, like literally, I could visibly see them. They were so far that they were like, it's like holy, like another drum kit that it barely survived.
Yeah, all of the drummers played with power.
Oh yeah, I'm just
sure.
like ooh, because
which
I like to watch.
She was
yeah,
all about,
so it was fun. Well, I like to watch everybody, but like usually the drummers.
Yeah, and for the last couple bands, we were kind of on the side of the stage. But if you went to Lee's and you went to the side by the back door, and you had the sideline view of the drummer, it's kind of like that.
Oh,
so not quite sideline view, but
yeah. And I do like to see the side of the stage a lot because. I mean, I can see the other people. You know, I'm looking, but I can really see the drummers, and then I can also see the guitarists when they do their foot pedals and stuff, because even though it doesn't mean anything to me, it's kind of cool to see.
Well, to see, oh, he clicks that,
the,
and then this sound happened, and he clicks that, and then this sound happened. Yeah,
even though to me, I don't know anything, but and then I just like watching them do their twiddly with their
Wheedly. So that was Defiled, and we've only seen these two bands 3 times, and they have not disappointed any of the times.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, aside from the mic problem that Ryan was having, but that's neither here nor there.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
If he would have used a corded mic, for the entire show would have been perfect, because everything else was just fantastic. And that brings us to Agony Reigns. And we were talking to Matt beforehand, Matt McGee, who I figured out I've known for 5 years now. Because we were trying to think of the first time I saw them, and he was saying, probably like 2019. And I'm like, no, it was at that showcase at Poorhouse. Though it took me like 10 minutes to remember the name of the Poorhouse. Which is a club that still exists, but no one plays anymore because their staff was not good. Horrible stories about that place. Really nice room, really, really good room. And he was like, oh, that was like 2018. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. So yeah, I've known these guys forever, it feels like. And they just keep getting better and better. And just, it's just. But this was your first experience with them.
Another steamroller, Pleasant Steamroller. I'm trying to think, was it, they were the ones with the 3 up front all singing? Yes. Okay. Oh man, and then how do you play the guitars when you're in the bass, when you're jumping around
they were probably
maniacs?
The most active.
I would have taken everybody out, like myself, you, everybody in the crowd, the whole bar, the half of Duluth, like
And the fact that none of them were playing wireless, they were all plugged in.
Yeah, they were plugged in.
I was watching their feet, and I'm like, you're gonna trip, you're gonna unplug something, you're gonna trip, but none of them did.
Yeah, no.
Matt almost fell over a couple times. Lost his balance a little bit, but he's a professional. He can do it. They're another one that's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, did I even make a note for them? I think I was just so busy looking.
Very, very little notes.
Oh no, I didn't even do notes for them. I didn't even do notes because I was just taking them in and just like holy, and then wasn't that the one with the one drummer that had the headphones on?
Oh, the headphones, yeah.
And then he was like drumming that poor kit like crazy too.
Yeah,
he had a little different of a style, but. And I was going to ask you, and I don't remember now how I wanted to phrase it, but yeah, that's just a wall of sound there too, and good. I don't know why, a little harder than I was expecting, for some weird reason. But was it one of your friends was it that said them on CD is different than them in person?
That was Kellerman.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was him.
Because this was Aaron's first time seeing them.
It was
seeing
okay.
a full set
That's
of this.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
As well.
And then he had Kellerman had said that. That's right. That was Josh.
Yeah, that was Josh.
That said, Yeah, it's on CD is different than live. And
Yeah.
oh boy.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've heard the last album, which is pretty freaking fantastic.
I don't think I have.
And the title's really good too. Check. Where's your phone?
My phone?
Just pull up Spotify real quick.
Spotify?
Because I'm pretty sure they're on Spotify.
Yes.
Yeah, so go to
Just like library.
the tragedy in understanding nothing. That's got to be one of the best local album titles I've heard in a long time. And that was what, 2020, 2019, 2021. Yeah, so that's like 2 years old now. But that's their first full length, and it is really, really good. Like that's definitely one of those.
Maybe I have 2021. How have I not? I might have dabbled in a little bit of it though, because I was dabbling in the different bands a little bit in the last few weeks.
Okay.
So I might have. I think some of it sounded very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
So, but not very. But I mean, remotely familiar.
Yeah, enough to go.
Because I haven't 100% dabbled yet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then before that, they had EP out, which is pretty good. But we were talking to Matt, and again, they had two different shirts that I do not own, but they had neither of them in our size. And they were saying that they usually do like limited runs of things, and I was like, okay, so you're completely sold out of CDs, and he's like, yeah. But there's a chance, and don't hold him to it, or any band members to it.
Don't hold you to it.
That at some point they might do a vinyl that just had everything.
Yes.
That had the full album plus the EP.
No, was it a vinyl that had everything, or is it a CD that had everything?
It might have been, I don't
I think it was a CD that had everything.
Probably.
A vinyl that had everything, you're going to have like 12 vinyls.
Well, no, because they only have the one album and the one EP.
Was that all they have?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it made it sound like there was more.
No.
Get busy.
Just the two releases.
Give me more.
Is that, or were we talking to someone else about that they were going to do vinyl? I don't remember.
Somebody else was going to do
mentioned
vinyl.
mentioned a vinyl. Or was that Kellerman that we were talking to that they wanted to put
It was
his new stuff on a vinyl? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. And we did this the same night of, so it's a good thing somebody said we had to do it tonight.
Yeah, this was literally like 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, at some point they might have a release, a physical release of all their stuff, because they're working on new stuff too. Now it's kind of like, okay, so kind of saying, this is where we were and this is where we're going. Yeah. He was like, yeah. It's like, okay. Yeah, so. And then the only other note that I have is when I saw these guys at Death Fest last year, because they played early, they were second band on, maybe even first band on, and they had opened it. So they played at like 5 o'clock or something. It was kind of weird.
Wow.
Jay, the guitar player, on the other side.
Oh, okay.
So not the curly haired Jesus looking guy, but the other one.
Metal Jesus, you mean?
Metal Jesus. That night at least, he also filled in with Maul.
Oh.
And I think he's like a fill-in kind of part-time member with Maul. Okay. So when they need a guitar player, they pull him. So.
Oh, fun.
And I know Matt's in at least one other band, Necro something sick. I don't remember exactly how to pronounce it.
Necrotis?
Something like that, yeah.
Necrotist?
Yeah.
Or necrotist?
It ends with a K.
Necrotic. Necrotisk.
Something like that, yeah.
So, anyways,
who I have not seen yet, so they're on my list, and especially knowing that Matt's involved. He's just, again, just coolest, nicest person.
Yeah.
But it's still funny remembering that first show, because he had really short hair, like black and curly. And I remember him taking his glasses off and handing them to, I believe, his father.
That's
sorry
the
if this is
person you
embarrassing.
told me about.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
funny.
to do, you know, their little rock and roll thing.
Yeah.
And his dad was so proud and all that stuff. So,
Aw.
yeah, I mean, so, and to be what they are now is so
Yeah.
Jesus fuck.
Hold
yeah.
my glasses.
That's what it was too. It was
Yeah.
kind of fun. But yeah, and now, you know, seeing the growth and you know, the anticipation of watching the growth of a band like Visceral Reaction, who are
Oh,
relatively
yeah.
new, and what they're gonna do, and it's just like, wow, the scene is just incredible.
Yay.
But
And then, so yeah, Caddyshack, they have good sound
mhm,
and pillars to put your little table you can put your beer on.
mhm.
And they had, I thought, plenty of seating. I mean, I think pretty much almost anybody who wanted to sit could have sat.
Yeah, I mean, there
Yeah.
were always kind of open spots.
Open spots, yep.
Yeah,
And then we had that little mini garlic cheesy bread, which was actually pretty dang
it was
good.
really good.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping there'd be more of it,
Yep.
but I think the 2 pieces each we had, I think was plenty.
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, the first piece I had, it was still relatively hot,
Mhm.
so the bread kind of gave way to the cheese and,
Oh, yeah.
and that nice little crispy and
Mhm.
yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
And of course they have the mystery ranch that I don't remember where
Yeah.
it's from, but it's in a big jug. It is freaking delicious.
Yeah, they don't even know where it's from. They're just like, I don't know, some big company. We get it in a big jug, and it's just like,
Yeah, I mean it's probably
Okay.
like, you know, an industrial like Cisco
Yeah.
range or something, but it is really, really good.
it's good.
And no mystery shots this time.
Nope, we did not.
I didn't even see if they had them behind the bar.
I didn't even look for them. I was fine with my one beer because that was all I really felt like today, anyways.
Mhm.
So, had my Castle Danger cream ale.
Mhm.
So, yep. So, and then I had actually Duluth Cider Company.
Yeah.
Cider, wasn't that?
Yeah, which
On
I'm
tap?
assuming was just their base,
Their basic.
whatever their base cider is. No, it
Which
was
is
pretty
awesome.
good. It was equivalent to, because it wasn't as sweet as like an Angry Orchard. More along the lines of almost like a Strongbow or something.
Yeah,
like
or I
almost
was
more
gonna
like
say-
like an English cider.
Was there that Crispin brand
Yeah,
for a
Crispin.
while? Is
Crispin.
that yes? I got it right.
It's more like a Crispin, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I don't drink a lot of cider,
No.
but I
Yeah,
just
yeah, you had a sip and you.
I had a sip of
and
his,
didn't-
and I was like,
didn't
whoa.
make face.
I'm like, I didn't mean to drink your cider, but I regret it. So
Yeah,
the sip
but
that I had,
Yeah,
I'm
but
not a cider girl.
No, not at all. And I'm not really a beer guy. So on my way. Yeah, so it was more like Crispin, like a very drier crisp.
Yeah.
Not sweet like an Angry Orchard, which I usually go for. But it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
And again,
like
supporting locally.
Yes.
You know, when in Rome and all that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
And the staff was good, quick and
yeah, I mean,
decent and,
the couple times we've been there, the staff is always
Yeah.
fairly nice. And, you know.
and I was impressed. I don't know if I used the bathroom last time I was there. I don't think I did, but the stalls were decent size and it was fairly clean and nice
Mhm.
and decent, and so yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah, I mean, it is a nice.
Especially some of the
nice
bathrooms we've seen. Mm.
Yeah, some of the bathrooms are very, very questionable.
So
So yeah, and so I'm glad that they have a place like this. That it seems to have, you know, wide variety of acts, but the fact that they're welcoming to the harder stuff is really cool.
mm,
You know,
yeah.
and I know a lot of bands that like the Caddyshack is turning into like the spot. If you're gonna play Duluth
Mm,
and you're on that kind of local level, that's where you play, which is cool because
yeah. Mm. It's easy to get to, and you can find parking down the street if you don't find parking right in the lot. You
Mhm.
know, wasn't a far walk at all.
No.
Just like a
block and a half. Something.
Yeah, something.
So and they've got a nice outdoor space,
Yeah.
outdoor smoking area, if we can still call them.
Yeah.
With like picnic tables and stuff. And yeah, and everybody a couple people, strangers that we talked to, they seemed friendly enough.
Yes. Because you know you're not supposed to talk to strangers.
You're not
but
supposed
we
to talk
do.
to strangers, but
We are the strangers, so it's other people talking to strangers.
yeah,
'Cause-
and,
yeah.
and if they're talking to us and we're talking to them, then we're no longer strangers.
Yeah.
Even though
See,
we
there you
technically
go.
didn't get any of their names, but
Wow, that's not right.
um,
Pink flamingo guy though.
Flamingo Man, yeah,
Yeah.
who was scared or not scared, but
He was scared.
lenient
He
to go inside and get in the pit because
He
they
was
would all be
very
frightened
wary.
of him.
Yeah. Huh.
Which I don't think they would have. But
No, he's funny. He was funny.
yeah, he seemed alright. And drew away in his motorcycle.
Huh.
He's gonna go out on a boat tomorrow or something. I
Yes.
don't know. Something like that. Anyway, now we're just rambling.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, and the night was nice.
Yeah.
Temperature wise, it wasn't too. It was kind of getting kind of cooler and overcast as we arrived here, and which is why I switched into jeans and had my hoodie. But yeah, really didn't need them. I mean, I probably could have done shorts and it would have been fine.
Yeah, if I could do shorts, it'd be okay. You should have been able to do shorts because I'm a freezy girl. So.
But,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was Friday.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, who knows what we'll check in the morning.
Yep.
And once we kind of figure out
We're gonna do.
where the day's going to take us, and we will take you with us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, now go to bed. You need your sleep.
See you guys later.
Sweet girl, I'm caught between